of that to help others be better and do better. I really don't see that.
What would you suggest?
As far as like just to help, well, I can't suggest what other people can do. All I can say is what I do, how I feel, what I need to do.
Okay.
I definitely want to open up a public dental clinic, and back at home. I want to do that. I have a lot of friends. One who's my maid of honor. She works with the community as far as like she does nonprofits and things like that in the community, involved with a couple of her projects, more so where I'm just a mentor and I just kind of speak and do things in that nature, but more so just helping out when a brother needs help, you know, whether it's like just words of like encouragement, or you know, you see someone, you clearly see that they're having a bad day, just it's just not enough of that in our community.
No,
it's
and
every man for himself.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, you know, as far as helping our culture and our community,
I can only do what I can. I do.
I also agree that there definitely needs to be more.
It's just not. It's not very much there.
No.
What I can do is raise my kids to not be that way, and to give back to the community and myself. Give back to the community, and when I say give back to the community, I mean give my time, give my skills.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. What do you do exactly to give back to your community?
I volunteer. I don't necessarily always volunteer. Dental related.
Tell us about that project, because you I wanted to get to that you do volunteer your free time at a clinic. Can you elaborate?
Well, this is something that was started by someone else. I just volunteer my services there. It's something that I did a lot when I was in school, because my school is actually big on public health, I feel, because our rotations were evolved around public health clinics. And so like everyone in that school had experience with public health and the people in the area and the community. So that's like where I actually really realized that I like public health. Not every situation where you see someone, you know, they're not, you know, they have a mouth full of cavities doesn't mean they just don't care about themselves. Like, what's going on? Your kids are sick, your kids this and that, your kids need this, you're not really on the best diet, eating the right things, and your kids come first, you're not going to your dental appointments like you should.
Definitely.
Doesn't necessarily mean you just don't care, you're just not brushing your teeth.
No.
Like, they have
and
life.
Not necessarily do you have the resources.
Exactly. The resources aren't always there, because you have something that you can easily feel, but because that costs $70, but to pull it costs $40, let's pull it.
Right.
And so that's the mentality that I hate to see.
Yeah.
And so I will definitely make changes like that when in regards to my public health clinic.
Question about that public health clinic. Now, the one that you volunteer at here in the Hampton Roads area, in our local Hampton Roads area, do they necessarily have to have insurance to be treated there? And what kind of treatments can they get if they don't have insurance? Let's say if I didn't have insurance, I want to come there, I have a cavity, it's really killing me. Can I come there and be seen by you?
Yes, you can. It's a clinic where you fee for service. Okay. So certain things, they're inexpensive, and so whatever needs to be done is generally done. But when I have gone and volunteered, it has mostly gone to the point where you need extractions. So that is generally what I have done there, is extractions. And we're there after hours.
So are those like extreme cases? Is there only extreme cases that are being seen there, or are there just regular,
it's
normal everyday treatment?
You can see normal everyday treatment, absolutely. But what I see when I've gone is just been at the route where it needs extraction. Yeah. Which is not uncommon in a public health when you're at a public health clinic, because they're not getting routine dental care because it costs money. There's nothing for free, even though it's at a very low amount of money. But I mean, you got $40 here, you know, that's like how many weeks of cigarettes? I mean, like how many weeks of packs of cigarettes is that? You know, so it's not hurting them right now, so they need that cigarette more than they need this. And so it's like that mentality that you have to like, you're going to kind of work with. They're not really aware of like the effects of health and dentistry and what it does to the body. And so a lot of education happens when you're talking to patients. And
do you guys educate? Do you all educate
I do when
as well as treat?
I don't know what the other docs do, but I educate everybody I see.
Okay.
If I see something going on in your mouth, I mean, it's my job to kind of, I'm not there to like chastise you or like, you're in trouble. No, I just make it, bring to your attention if you don't even know. Because sometimes they don't understand these things, but as long as you speak to someone on a human level, on like, talk to them, not down to them, or talk with them, however it is. You just, whatever. You just have to be able to have a good communication with people for them to really understand you. And for them to understand what you're trying to say and where you're coming from.
So anybody can be seen without insurance.
Anybody can see. If you have a problem, if anything is going on, you need to be seen, you can go.
Can you state what clinic?
I don't know if I can do that.
Because
I don't know if I should mention that one. Just the name of the clinic. I don't know.
But there are clinics, would you say that?
Yes, there are public dental health clinics.
There are public dental health clinics.
There are.
That people who are listening who don't have dental insurance can go to in our local Hampton Roads area.
Absolutely.
There are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The one I'm working with particularly, I just work with a group of people that's so associated with work. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But you would say that there are places people who are listening who may be like, dang, well, where can I go?
Right.
There are places here in our local Hampton Roads area that treat patients without insurance.
Right, they do. It's just a small fee for service.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they just have to pay a small fee, and you can still get treated for any kind of treatment, any kind of pain.
Any kind of treatment, pain, anything like that. And a lot of people have fear of dentistry. They have fear of dentistry. One, they don't really understand what a dentist is actually doing. You hear a lot of horror stories, people getting over on people and doing things that are unnecessary. That was my experience with my dentist. But, I mean, they just don't really have a good idea of what happens. But as long as a patient can see what you're talking about, like on an x-ray, and you can explain it to them, I've had great experiences with them. I've never had someone like, are you sure that needs to be done? Because hopefully in the start of appointment I've answered that. I'm not just gonna numb you up and start drilling away, I would like you to see.
Numb, you kind of explain.
Right, explain why you're here.
Right.
Because sometimes they're like, I don't know, I just had an appointment. They don't even know. And so I'm like, well, are you having any sensitivity out of this tooth?
Right.
If not, this is
important to explain and talk to your patients before you get started on any kind of treatment necessary.
Yeah, because majority of the time they'll say, no, nothing's wrong. And then after you finish, you're like, okay, so when I bite down, it won't hurt anymore. I'm like, you didn't want to mention that? Well, no, it should hurt, okay? It shouldn't hurt at all, but,
Then you find out other things are going on.
Right, they don't want to say anything.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate you letting me know about that. I have some other questions, and I want to ask you about your investing. Ask you more about your investing venture, because you said that you're investing in businesses, and you're not just doing real estate.
No, that's just what I'm doing right now.
Okay,
but it's not
small local businesses. Can they also send you?
Yeah, ultimately what I'm trying to do is get to a point where I can be like a bank for black-owned companies who need like some cash or money to do certain things in their businesses, but don't want to go to a bank that wants to charge them such high interest or requires certain things that, a little hard for them. So
yeah, right. Why did you start investing? What made you want to start in this venture of investing in the first place?
Well, I had so much cash saved up, and I didn't want to just sit there and get little interest in a bank doing nothing. And so if I can profit and I can also get someone else to profit, I was like, let's do it. And so that's when I contacted my friend, and she introduced me to two other companies. And then we started making money together. And it was been a very nice relationship. Had one experience currently in, but we are working together to get that goal.
Fix that. Okay.
But again, it's me not wanting to screw over another black man. So we're working together. We're gonna get him right, and then we'll get me right.
I know that's right. So, is investing in companies profitable?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yes, it is.
You're like, yes.
I mean, I have not spent the money. I have saved all of it because that's all I use it for is that. And anytime I get like a large sum of money or any tax refunds, everything goes into that pot.
Okay.
And I'm preparing for opening up a dental clinic and having some kind of.
Okay. Is that the ultimate goal?
Yeah, I want to open a public health clinic.
Yeah. I like that.
I want to open a dental public health clinic.
Okay. So, I know you were saying something about you're not sure of the process of creating a business proposal because that's not what you receive.
Well, I kind of receive a proposal.
Receive proposals?
I receive one of some sort. It's
How
like
is
a
that
spread.
process? What is?
Well, first I generally get a phone call and they're like, "Hey, Stace, like, all right, there's this house. Let's say it's $70,000. I have this amount of money. This is how much is going to estimated to rehab it, like maybe $20,000. Would you be interested in purchasing the home? We renovate the home, and then give you 30% on top of what you invested. And depending on the spreadsheet, which means they'll send me over a form that shows the actual appraiser. Appraiser has come by, appraised the property, the value of the home now, and base things upon like renovations or whatever. And maybe let's say it's appraised at $200,000.
Okay.
And so I'm like, absolutely. And so I'll go ahead and go through with that.
So if it's appraised at $200,000, what is your percentage?
I'll get my 70 back.
Okay.
And then 30% of the 200,000.
So it's really a good investment.
No. 30% of what I invested. That's what I get.
30% of what you invested.
Yeah,
not 70. Because
no.
Wait. Did you say 70%?
No, 30%. It's always
30%.
I give 70,000, and they give me they give my 70 back plus 30% of my 70.
Okay. Wow, that is an excellent.
And then they take the rest.
Okay. I think that's great.
I mean, it works.
That's great because
every spreadsheet is different.
They
I have to actually
be able to get into that home.
Let me see if I can pull up one so you can actually.
Because that would be
so
probably good to kind of break that down because some listeners who are listening probably are still like, I don't understand.
Yeah, let me pull up one of my spreadsheets.
What particular amount that you're investing and what particular amount that you get back. Because that was actually my next question is what percentage do you keep?
What do you mean keep? I always do 30%.
So 30%
unless it's a small one, it just
keep.
kind of depends. I'm not trying to break anybody's pocket. I gotta see what they're doing.
Right.
I want to profit when it makes sense. Sometimes I'm just helping, like the situation I'm in now.
So have there been situations where you just denied a business proposal?
Well, I had to recently because the people that I'm working with, it's a group of them, but they all know each other. One is doing her own thing, and then the guy that I'm working with, I gave him a loan. His father-in-law kind of screwed him over. They sold the house for like over $200,000, and he cut him out of the deal. So with cutting him out of the deal went my money. And so right now he has 5 other properties, and he's trying, and they're on hold because he was using that money to help with his finished renovation and things like that. And so now we're at a point where he's giving me a small portion of my money back, and I'm going to help him finish another house so that he can finish the money. And so granted, it might sound like, oh, that's a dumb decision. I know this person from talking to him, and I'm trying to help him. He's in a situation now that really was not something that